Hi and welcome to packrafting-tv. This is Max and this is my YouTube channel about packrafting related stuff. And so today I want to talk about self-bailing boats and why I think they are really awesome. So this is going to be, very biased video, and if you've got things you want to add to it, or if you disagree with me, just listen to the video and then just leave a comment so we can sort of have a discussion about it. This is kind of what this channel is all about, is having a conversation and getting the idea out there. So this is my brand new boat. This is an alpaca wolverine for whitewater, because I only do whitewater. And so technically you're not meant to have them as a self-bailing configuration, because you can only have them if you actually ask for it. And so there are some reasons behind it. I don't want to get into details about that. And so, for me, that's a problem, because I think it's just, people are starting to think that self-bailing boats are not for whitewater. And I think this is a big misconception, and this is kind of what I want to talk about in this video, is why I think self-bailing boats are absolutely awesome. And this is not to say that, whitewater deck boats are not great. They are great as well. They've got the advantages as well. It's just not what I want to talk about today. I just want to talk about self-bailing boats. And so the first thing I want to talk about is that I think self-bailing boats are a lot safer. And that's why I love them so much. But before I get into that, I want to talk about two myths that go along with self-bailing packrafts. So the first thing I hear all the time when I said I love paddling self-bailing boats, and actually the only thing I want to paddle, because I used to have a deck boat before and then I got rid of it, and now I've got self-bailing boats and that's what I want to paddle. So the first myth is, when I say to people to paddle a self-bailing boat, they say, oh, but then you must be paddling in a bathtub. And so there's a little secret to this, and the secret to this is, believe it or not, there are holes at the bottom, okay? And so your boat won't fill with water because the water will drain, just continuously. So it doesn't fit in with water. There are some, I think they are called open boats, that don't have a deck and don't have holes at the bottom, but for whitewater you do want the self-bailing version, which is the version with the little holes at the bottom. And inside as well, I've got an inflatable floor, so then I'm always above the little layer of water that is going to be inside my boat. So I'm not paddling in the bathtub. That's a misconception. That's just wrong. That's just not the case. And then the second thing I hear all the time is like, oh, but then if I paddle like a self-bailer, my feet will get cold. And I'm like, is that a joke? I mean, seriously? Like, yes, self-bailing boats are going to be a little colder because you've got, water splashing in you all the time. But, for me, for instance, I always paddle down very cold rivers, so I'm always wearing a dry suit no matter what, and then I just put the appropriate amount of layering underneath my dry suit, and I can adapt it to the conditions. So I'm never colder, I never look at people in whitewater deck boats and think, man, these people are just so much warmer than I am. That just never happens. I'm never colder than they seem to be, for some reason. That's just layering. And also, I think the positive side to this is that on a day like today, when it's really warm, but I'm still paddling a very cold river, so I want to be wearing a dry suit, is that because water keeps splashing on me, it's just going to cool me down regularly. So I'm actually going to feel really nice on a day like today. So these are the two myths that I hear all the time, and I think we just need to clarify, and I hope I've done that. And if you've got comments about this, fine, just write something at the bottom and we'll have a conversation going. So now I want to talk about what I think are the advantages of a self-bailing boat. And like I said earlier, I think self-bailing boats are a lot safer, and let me explain why. For instance, on this river that we've got here, it's very continuous. We don't have a lot of eddies to stop. So if I flip over here in a self-bailing boat, I can just put it the right side up, jump back in, put my thigh straps back on, and boom, I'm fired up and I'm ready to go again. Whereas with whitewater deck boats, most of the time they tend to like fit in with a bit of water inside it, and when you've got water in your boat, it's harder to maneuver. and then you still need to put your spray skirt back on. And so if you can't really stop anywhere because it's very continuous, it's going to be very tricky to do. And so if there's a rapid just coming up a little bit further downstream, that's going to get even worse. So I think that's the first thing that we really need to keep in mind, is how easy they are to get back in, even in the currents. We don't need to stop in an eddy to empty the boat, put the spray skirt back on, and that sort of thing. That's the first thing. And then so that leads me to my next argument, which is that safe bedding boats obviously are super easy to get on and off. I mean, you hop in and hop off because you don't have a spray skirt or anything. You're always ready. You just inflate your boat, you just jump in, put your thigh straps in, and boom, you're fired up and ready to go. So that's really awesome. And what I've noticed most of the time with people who paddle, and maybe I'm not paddling with the right people, I don't know, but is that sometimes we get to the put-in and all of a sudden, I mean, I'm always the first one ready because I've got a safe bedding boat, so 3 seconds is just inflated and boom, ready to go. And they try to put their combing around it, and they try to put their spray skirt on, and sometimes they even put the PFD and then they realize they forgot to put the spray skirt on, so they take off the PFD, put on the spray skirt, and there we go. And I've been like ferrying across the river like 30 times by the time they're ready. So that's one thing. And also, because I don't have, deck or anything, this is just good for me because I tend to forget stuff all the time. And with the safe bedding boat, all I have is my boat. So I haven't forgotten the combing thing that goes around for the spray skirt. I haven't forgotten my spray skirt at the takeouts. I've got my boat. I've got everything I need. Boom, let's just go and let's paddle. And I think something that I think people realize when they switch to safe bedding boats, like I've done, is that you realize how much time you spend waiting for people with the spray skirts. And let's be fair, I think spray skirts have really evolved throughout the years, and now boats are getting better and better, and it's just easier to put them on. But sometimes you might just be paddling, so you're already on the river, ferrying across, warming up a little bit, and people are trying to put the spray skirt on, and then they put it on, and then 50 meters down the river they realize that it wasn't put on properly, and all of a sudden it pops off. Wait, I need to stop and put my spray skirt back on, and there you go, you lose another 5 minutes or something. So something I think you realize when you paddle a safe bedding is how much time you actually spend waiting for people with the spray skirt. It's kind of a joke I had with a friend this summer. We were both paddling safe bedding boats, and every time we're waiting in the river, we were like, there we go, we're waiting for people with spray skirts. Which is not to say that, whitewater deck boats are not good at all, they have the advantages, I get that. I'm just, people are always, mocking people with safe bedding boats, so today I feel like it's my turn to return the favor. And so also, the fact that you don't have a spray skirt to put on, one of the advantages to it is that, for instance, I'm going down a rapid, that's fine, I know where I'm going, and all of a sudden I'm not sure of my line anymore, I just want to stop and scout. Sometimes the rapids, might be, a bit, difficult, whatever, and so the eddies are going to be a little bit small and not stable. It's not going to be this calm pool. It might just be wobbly and kind of on the eddy line. And so if you've got what with the deck boat, it's you need time to grab a rock and try to put your spray skirt back on, whatever. With the safe bedding boat, you can just grab it with one hand, and then you jump into your boat, and then boom, just put your thigh straps on, and then boom, forward stroke, and boom, you're out and going already. And so I think that's awesome. That's also a good safety feature that you can have, because you don't end up in the eddy trying to put your spray skirt on and you're just struggling, and then there's water coming in and that kind of thing. So I think this is another advantage to the safe bailers that they should really. That's why I think they should really be considered. Also, another thing that I think is super good about safe bedding boats is that because we don't have these spray skirts, we never have any problem. I'm going down the river and it's fine, I'm always ready, and even if my knee comes up the thigh straps, I can just put it back on very quickly. I think also this is something that is improving throughout the years with whitewater deck boats, but sometimes I've seen people who just, and I think we've all seen that, people just lose the spray skirt. Like the spray skirt, pops off, and all of a sudden there's water coming in, and it can be a huge hazard, depending on where you're paddling. With a safe bailing boat, you don't have this problem because you don't have a spray skirt. So that's another advantage. So I think that's about it for my opinion about safe bailing boats, and it's super biased and it's my opinion, and you might have a different opinion. And like I said, I don't think whitewater deck boats are not worthy. I think they're great boats as well, but I think safe bailing boats really need to be considered because I think they're really great boats. And I think over the years they've been sort of like overlooked, and I think some manufacturing, like some companies are not just making them anymore. And I think that kind of sucks. I think we really need to keep making them because, like I said at the beginning, I think they are a little safer, and so they make us more confident. I'm not saying that because I've got a safe bailing boat, I'm going to do things that I want to do otherwise. I'm just saying that because I've got a safe bailer, I can do the things that I would do anyway, but with more confidence, only relying on myself and being like, hey, I can run this, easy river, and worst case scenario, if I flip, I won't have to be desperate to find an AD or that kind of thing. So that's it, that's my very biased opinion about safe bailing boats. If you disagree with me, if you think I'm talking garbage or whatever, or if you've got anything to add, no, that's fine, just leave a comment. And so we can have like a conversation going, and we can all learn from it. So that's it. Thanks for joining me. See you next time. Cheers.